Welcome to It's Happening. My name is Jared. I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. Sorry about that. Clean it up a little bit. All right. If you haven't yet, make sure you are following us here on Rumble. We are live on Rumble and YouTube right now. You can follow us on YouTube as well, but I don't go live there all the time because of the censorship and how they treat people who dare to ask questions. If you haven't watched us before, we pull up some news and we comment on it here on this channel. This is for politics and culture. We have our Unseen Realm channel. This for Bible history, Bible the topics, the supernatural aspects of the Bible. I go into my story on my experience and how God healed my back. I am always looking for guests to come on and spread God's word with me or come on here and chat politics and culture. This Tuesday coming up, Tuesday evening especially, I'm looking for guests who want to come on and speak with me as the election results are coming in. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. I will be pulling up different channels and just talking about it as it goes, guys. James O'Keefe has done another this ain't undercover. This is a whistleblower. It's a little longer video clip than I normally like to play, but I want to play it for you guys and show you what's going on with that, and then we'll talk about it. Make sure you're following us on X as well. I'm really trying to focus on growing X. I have most of my followers on Facebook, but Facebook blocks us so much that I can't even reach anybody anymore. So I'm really trying to work on X, and we do use TikTok. So make sure you follow us there. If you enjoy what we're doing, if you'd like to support us, my wife and I, we make tumblers. We design some logos for some businesses as well. So if you need any image design or tumblers made, let us know. And just look down in the description for ways to support us if you enjoy what we are doing here. All right. So let's get into it. Like I said, this first clip, it's a little bit longer than I normally like to play, but I think it's important to play. So I'm going to do it. Let's hop on over to X. And this is James O'Keefe.
The number one goal of FEMA is to instill equity in emergency management. It's not to save lives. It's not to create stronger communities that will weather future disasters. It's to instill equity.
It almost feels like I'm being asked to give my opinion on equity to the state, and I am not comfortable at all doing that.
Right now, we ask that you do it. You tell us how you did it, and the guidance is the guidance until you get further instructions.
Tell us your exact title.
I am a hazard mitigation emergency manager.
And what is your job description? What are your job duties there?
I work with the states to help them implement long-term recovery strategies in order to keep the disasters, the loss of life and property from happening during future disasters.
I showed you a little clip from the film Line in the Sand where Zachary had his moment where he couldn't take it anymore. Talk to us about what was your line in the sand moment working for FEMA?
FEMA seemed to be very overwhelmed by the disaster, the size of the disaster and the scope, which took me off guard. There was a lot of frustration, questions on the ground from homeowners. It was getting out in the media, social media, of locals in the disaster areas asking where FEMA is, why aren't they coming to help? And there was a lot of information being put out by FEMA leadership that was really creating a bit of an echo chamber with us as employees, saying FEMA's not doing anything wrong. They were sending us emails internally telling us that it was people being homophobic or anti-Semitic or whatever it was. FEMA was doing a great job.
Now, you've shared internal FEMA photos with us from boots on the ground in Asheville. Talk about what it was like for you witnessing all of that devastation firsthand.
I haven't witnessed it firsthand. I haven't been to Asheville. I'd say a majority of the staff deployed to North Carolina hasn't been to Asheville.
They haven't been to Asheville. Mm-mm. Wow.
That's why you hear a lot of homeowners saying, we don't see FEMA. Where is FEMA? We don't see them. But contrast, you hear FEMA leadership say, we have 1,000 people on the ground. We have 900 people on the ground. That's where the disconnect is.
And getting back to the reason why you're sitting down with us, there's a noticeable shift in the way FEMA handles funding opportunities, something called BRIC. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, there are annual appropriations from Congress for different disaster funding sources. So the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities.
That's a BRIC.
That's BRIC. It's an annual grant program, and it's nationally competitive. It allows for all the states and local governments and the federally recognized tribes to submit project applications in order to strengthen their communities. Over the last several years, since 2021 about, we have changed the priorities in terms of how we're awarding that money. There are higher priorities given to different racial groups, different minority groups, and it's really creating internal confusion as to how we're awarding.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, we went from trying to get our country to not judge and view others based on race to now everything's solely based on race. Getting loans, getting FEMA assistance, getting food stamps, getting education, getting business loans. I mean, it's truly remarkable how the Democrats have done this. I mean, they completely flipped it on its head. That we should not be handing out any assistance for any reason solely based on race. That all that's doing is creating the very problem they claim they're fighting against. When you start pitting the citizens against one another by doing things like that, you just cause the tension. You're not helping. This isn't a solution. But how do you justify in your head that when a disaster happens that we need to help Black people first, or we need to help gay people first, or we need to help trans people first? How do you justify that, saying that somehow it affects them more? I mean, I have neighbors right next to me. So if we have a hurricane smash our house, they're more likely to get assistance than I am, solely based on skin color. We used to call that racism, because that's what racism is. But this country has completely flipped it on its head.
This money.
How does that work, though? If you have a higher disadvantaged status, why should that make a difference if whether FEMA goes into a community to help people?
So when Joe Biden came in office, he signed Executive Order 14008, and that basically said that we need to give minorities and disadvantaged communities priority over historical communities that had not received discrimination in the past. Through that came what was called the Justice 40 initiative, and it said that 40% of certain grant funding needed to go to these quote unquote disadvantaged communities.
How does FEMA determine which communities get what grants?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that anybody really knows the answer to that. They have created different tools over the last few years in order to determine what they call disadvantaged community status.
Would you say Asheville is in the situation they're in with Helene because this grant was denied?
I don't know. When grants are denied, especially under these nationally competitive programs, there's no way to tell why they're denied and why they aren't.
I kind of want to shift to Christianity and a long-standing policy to bar houses of worship from receiving FEMA disaster funds. Can you talk about that?
Within the last few years, when the new guidance was put out in 2023, it was decided that houses of worship were no longer eligible for certain disaster funding. I spoke with my supervisors. They said it's written in guidance. That's what we have to abide by. If you want to reach out to legal counsel, you're more than welcome. But in terms of helping them to
All right,
withstand,
guys, I want to check my mic real quick, make sure it's still working. I think I just pulled it out. Anyways, how you guys like that? So it's okay to not help churches, right? Especially those Christians. It's remarkable the direction this country is going in. All right, it's still working good.
And things in the future that they were no longer eligible for that. And I have not been able to understand why or get a response as to why. We are prioritizing the wrong things. We are prioritizing
Gotcha.
disadvantaged communities when there's no clear definition of what that is. We're prioritizing DEI initiatives and climate change initiatives. Most of it is going to be based on the racial makeup.
The racial,
Wow.
but the race doesn't necessarily correlate to economic. There's not a direct correlation between race and economic disadvantage.
FEMA might disagree.
FEMA might disagree.
You can go on the FEMA website. The number one goal of FEMA is to instill equity in emergency management. It's not to save lives. It's not to create stronger communities that will weather future disasters. It's to instill equity. So in terms of why one community is chosen over another, we have no way of knowing, and neither do the communities.
Talk to us about any training FEMA put you through, specifically the DEI portion.
So FEMA over the last few years has really been big on instilling equity in
Equity.
emergency
What
management.
does
That
mean,
is,
equity?
well, I asked the exact same question and I was never given an answer.
It almost feels like I'm being asked to give my opinion on equity.
Equity. So, you know, the Democrats used to fight for equality, right? Well, they pretty much won on all of that, on all the equality. So did the Republicans. We ended up getting equality, and it wasn't enough. Now they need equity, and they're using this equity to say basically we all end up in the same spot, right? But how do you do that? How can you do that with such a large population? Well, the way to do it is everyone ends up with nothing. We all have equity because we won't have anything. We'll all have the same amount of nothing by the time they're finished with the direction they want to go with equity. We should have equality. This equity is nonsense that that's exactly what it is. It's used as a weapon, and it should. We need to fix this problem. We had the Supreme Court already handle affirmative action, and what did the Democrats do? They turn around and create DEI. It's just another way to push the affirmative action. We all fought for equality, but once you got equality, now they want more power, and that's what it is every single time with the Democrats. You give them, you compromise with them a little bit, and they choke you to death with the rest of it. It's never about what they claim it is. There's always something deeper, and they want to go further and further and further left, and anything that gives them more power and control. And the right does it too. That's why I'm pretty glad Trump's fixing the Republican Party right now. I mean, it's pretty remarkable when you think about what this man has done. He has come out and shown every one of us across the whole world the evils of the elites and what they're up to. He has shown the Democrats to be the same party that they've always been. Bigoted, racist party that wants complete control based on identity, based on your race, based on anything they can put you into a box and control you in. Because the moment we realize that we don't need that when we come together, we can agree and disagree on things without tearing each other's heads off, but they don't need that. That wouldn't help them. That's what this equity does. It just causes more division. That's what DEI does. I mean, how can you, in a majority white country, create a program that's designed to not help the majority of people in your country? It's remarkable. And again, all it does is create racism towards white people. And they justify and rationalize it. And it's insanity. We should not be doing anything for anyone solely based on gender, race, or any of those issues. And slowly, the Democrats just keep pushing you right back. I love hearing Kamala talk about we're not going backwards, we're moving forwards. Well, every one of your policies goes backwards. Every one of your policies is the ones that's going to send this country backwards. Y'all are destroying women all in the name of protecting women. Y'all are destroying democracy in the name of protecting democracy. Y'all create racism in the name of fighting against racism. It's remarkable, guys. It really is. All right, let's hop on. There's another 10 minutes of that video. So we're just going to hop on to the next one. Make sure you go follow O'Keefe here on X. All right, let's see here. What else we got here? Let's hop over here, guys. Let's hop over to TikTok real quick. Don't forget, guys, I have the live chat up if you'd like to talk with me. Maybe you see something from a different perspective and you can help me learn as well. I do encourage you guys to chat with me. I'm always looking for people interested in coming on and talking with me. All right, let's check this out.
Former President Donald Trump is escalating his violent rhetoric, suggesting one of his most prominent critics, the former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, should be fired upon.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And I'm going to show y'all the video clip of what was actually said. This is a prime example on how the media is nothing more than a propaganda tool used to take out the Republicans. They're not there to give you facts. They're not there to tell you what's actually going on and then you decide for yourself. They're there to force you to believe what they want you to believe. But let's let her finish what she's saying. This is Parco JDP on TikTok.
No, he didn't. What he said was that war-hungry politicians would not be so eager to fling our troops into harm's way if they actually had to go themselves, which is 100% grade A true. And as a military wife, it pisses me off to no end that we have a media that are more concerned with pretending that Trump called for executing somebody via firing squad, which he did not do, than they care about the military, who get flung all over the world by a bunch of people who, by and large, sit around in their suits and their shiny loafers, giving speeches at $10,000 a plate dinners in between setting piles of our money on fire. It pisses me off that we have a media that spends more time trying to claim that Trump said something that he did not say than they do demanding answers for where the billions of our tax dollars are going, or talking about how the Biden administration sent $16 billion to Iran. 13 service members died under Biden's watch because he screwed up Afghanistan so bad, and the media want us to pretend that that didn't happen. So yeah, it is easy for politicians to send our soldiers and our sailors and our airmen into war when they have never gone themselves. But I guess taking down Trump with lies and deceptively edited clips matters more than talking about that.
Yes.
Former president.
She nailed it, didn't she? And I mean, it's true. Just think about this for a minute. If our media for one full week would just tell the truth, I mean, this country wouldn't be half as bad off as it is. Yeah, Obama asked the other day, how did we get so divided? Well, Obama signed a law in 2012, the Smith-Mundt Act, that allows for these media companies to use propaganda against the American people. And that was illegal after World War II for the reasons that we are witnessing today, because they get to spew propaganda and misinformation and claim to be the ones fighting against misinformation. They get to use their power as a weapon over us, and it's to shut us up. Remarkable. It's truly remarkable. If our media would just tell the truth for 1 week, this country would be so much, the outlook of this country would be so different. I talk to so many people on a daily basis, and it's remarkable the things these Democrat voters believe. Just because they do not look any deeper for themselves. They see a headline and they go, oh my God. Or it's coming from the left, so it must be true because the right is nothing but bigots and mean sexist, and they're out to get you. Even though that's absolutely not true. The Republican Party was created for what? How did the Republican Party come to be? You guys are very smart. How did that happen? I know that the school has taught you that there was a party switch, but that's a lie. It never happened. And you can see it very clearly today in all the segregation that the Democrat Party is doing actively today. They keep talking about not wanting to go backwards, but they're sure segregating as fast as they possibly can. This is the same party that wanted to keep the slaves, that wanted to keep segregation, that created the KKK specifically to target black voters. This is the same party. There has never been any switch, and you are seeing it today in the way they do things, and the way they respond, and the way they continually attack white males, especially white males. If you're a straight white male, there's no place for you in society, but we want equity for everyone, right? We want inclusion, except for white people. Let's check out Jam and Lou. If you guys aren't following him yet, make sure you go follow him on TikTok, Facebook, and X.
Now, I know y'all have heard me say that the Democrat Party of today sure ain't the Democrat Party I used to be a part of.
And there may be some cussing, guys. I apologize. I know for myself, I'm trying to make sure I'm not cussing anymore. The way I speak matters. But there are some videos that may have some cussing. So if you have children in the room or next to you, I just wanted to let you know ahead of time.
Back in 1996, 2000, 2004. Because you got so many Democrats right now defending Liz Cheney. Wait, what? The war hawks, the warmongers, the family that got rich, the Cheneys, that got rich by sending off and playing with the lives of your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews off to war. What? What the hell happened to y'all Democrat Party? I'm ashamed and embarrassed to ever have been a fucking Democrat. And I know exactly what you narcissistic gaslighters are trying to do to try to make Trump look some type of way in regards to a statement he made about Liz Cheney. Until she's personally affected or on the front lines or her life is in danger, she's going to continue sending your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews off to fight their wars so they can enrich themselves. You know what, Democrat Party? I'm forever grateful you guys are exposing who y'all truly are. Because in no way, shape, manner, or form, the early 2000s, late 1990s, y'all ain't that party no more at all whatsoever.
Man, it is remarkable, isn't it, that the left is embracing Dick Cheney, the same Dick Cheney that they called the devil. They called who was he? What was it that they called him? I can't remember. But it's remarkable that they are cheering it on, that this man is on their side and endorsing them. Do you not see the uniparty now? Do you not see the machine and how it works? Because never in my life would I have thought I would witness the Democrat Party embrace Dick Cheney in the ways that they have because of his daughter, because it might make Trump look bad. Are you not understanding how the Democrats are the party of war, are the party of racism, are the party of sexism, are the party of division? They are everything that they claim that we are. And I'm so glad to see so many people finally waking up. I was one of those who thought I was a Democrat for a while. I still have liberal views, normal liberal views. In a normal world, some conservatives would call me a Democrat or more liberal, or that I would lean more that way, because I do have those views. But the Democrats have gone so far, and they're a communist party now. That's what they are. They are the Communist Party of America. And that is the direction they are going. So if you want the state to control everything that you do and your kids do, and you want to complete control, just keep voting Democrat, because that's the direction they're going. These famous, filthy, rich people who try to convince you to vote Democrat don't have a clue what it's like to live a normal life, don't have a clue what it's like to struggle and suffer daily on a daily basis, to live paycheck to paycheck. And they're out here preaching to us on who we should vote for so they can continue to pad their pockets, to send us to war. And the Democrats are embracing it. It's remarkable. It really is. And I cannot for the life of me understand how not more Democrat voters are stepping up and saying, whoa, hold on a minute. This is not right. Because it's like we woke up in some bizarro comic book world where everything's backwards. And you're the bigot if you dare ask a question, right? It's wild. It really is. Crazy times we're living in. Crazy times. Let's see here. Let's go check out.
Hello, everyone. Most of you know me as Graham Allen, but today I'm coming to you as a former Army Staff Sergeant that served in Operation Iraqi Freedom 2 times, serving over 32 months in combat. I want to address the disgusting and horrific lies perpetrated by Liz Cheney, Kamala Harris, all of the left-wing paid nutcases on social media, and especially the war-mongering mainstream media, and their disgusting lies about what President Trump said last night in regards to Liz Cheney. It's now even being brought to my attention that the Arizona AG is now investigating potential charges against Donald Trump. Well, as a combat veteran, I simply want to say this. Donald Trump's remarks is exactly what every combat veteran has been thinking for a very long time. My, oh my, how the neocons and the warmongers' tone may change when they themselves might have to face the bullets coming at them. You see, I believe that every single person that would vote yes to sending our sons and daughters to bleed and die for your wars, you should have either A, worn the uniform and served in combat yourself, or B, be willing to take the oath and put on the uniform and go bleed and or die for the causes in which you feel we are expendable for.
I'm with him. 10,000%. I'm with him. If you're going to vote for war, you have to be ready to send one of your family members to that war. We've had wars going on my whole adult life and all based on lies. It's time to focus on building America and making America strong and building all of our citizens up again. We can worry about being the world's police when we have our crap together, when we take the thorn out of our own eye. He's dead on. These people have no issue voting to send you to war. So shouldn't there be something that affects them a little bit with that too? Am I wrong here? Is Graham wrong here? I do believe that it would be a much better system if those people who were voting to send your kids to war could only do so if they were sending a family member of theirs to that war as well. What do you think? Let me know in the live chat.
President Trump's remarks was not a threat to Liz Cheney, but a stark reality that we need to stop these people that sleep peacefully in their beds at night, sending our sons to die for their wars.
My body,
I
my
stand
choice,
with
right?
President Donald Trump, and I encourage every single other combat veteran, especially those that served under Liz Cheney's father's vice presidential terms, those who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom, to speak up now. Fight. This is our new battle, my fellow service members. This is the new battlefront that we are fighting for, the very country that we swore to protect. And we can do that at the ballot box this Tuesday. We need to make America great again. I'm voting for the outlaw. I'm voting for the man that they keep lying about, that they keep smearing, and they keep trying to kill him. I'm voting to get our country back. And I'm voting to get rid of Kamala Harris, end the mainstream media's hold on us as Americans, and to get rid of politicians like Liz Cheney. God bless.
Yes. God bless you, Graham. Thank you for your service. And if you're watching this right now and you're a military service member, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for all that y'all do to protect our country. I know that our government doesn't care about you, but we, the people, do care about you guys.
Hello.
All right, let's see here. Let's hop on over here to, let's see what Vivek's got going on over here.
I'm a gay conservative, and I get a lot of hate online for that. My
Y'all hear
question for
her?
you
She's a
is, what do
little
you say to
low.
people
Let
who
me know in the
tell
live
me
chat.
that my marriage isn't going to be valid after Trump gets into the White
Well,
House?
first of all, that's just false. Okay, Donald Trump, I'm going to speak for myself, but I have deep confidence that this is deeply consistent with Donald Trump's vision that he stated for the country as
Really
well.
like
I said this
Vivek.
at Madison Square Garden the other
And
night. You want to know
JD.
what's funny? It's funny you mentioned this. Marissa is your name?
Yes.
So I said this. I actually got a lot of, not a lot, but a little bit of pushback for this the other night too, right? So we're at Madison Square Garden, and I said one of the things that Donald Trump is going to do for this country that he doesn't get enough credit for, certainly from the media, is I think he's actually going to be the president who unites this country. I actually think that that's true. And so I just looked at the audience, and this is in New York City, admittedly. I mean, and that was a hell of an event. I mean, you got 20,000 people in the arena, 200,000 people lined up outside. I haven't felt energy like that in a long time, and it did not feel like second place energy, by the way. All right, it was first place energy that night. I looked at the audience. I told them, look, I want to address Black Americans. We want you what we want for every American: clean streets, good neighborhoods, safe jobs, good jobs. But we also want a country where you're not judged on the color of your skin. You want to judge on the content of your character or your political beliefs. And then I addressed, and that one didn't generate controversy, but then I got one that did. I said, my message to gay Americans is this: you're free to love who you want, to marry who you want if you want, without the government standing in your way. But that doesn't mean that boys should be able to compete with girls in girls sports.
100%.
And that doesn't mean that we subject our kids to over-sexualization or genital mutilation or chemical castration. And I think we should be able to draw those distinctions. And I think one of the things that happened, this is, getting a little bit, spicy.
He's dead on. Again, like I said, I remember the fight in the 90s for the gays and lesbians and the equality and the marriage, and they got it. They won. And almost immediately after, the Democrats needed some new group to use, right? So that's when the trans thing became a really big issue. They needed to force something else on it. And all it has done is hurt those gay and lesbian people who got the equality they were looking for. All it's done now is destroyed their whole movement. And if this doesn't stop, it's going to continue to hurt their movement. And those are the people that I feel bad for. I mean, you got the equality, and then they, like I said, the Democrats always want more. It's never about the actual issue and what they're claiming it is. It's always something more. And as soon as you compromise, they strangle you with what they really want. The trans movement is going to destroy all the equality if it does not stop. Nobody's against gays. This is not the 80s and 90s anymore. This Republican Party has been the party that has compromised. We are the ones who always live and let live. We're the ones who live that. You realize that? The Democrats preach it, but we actually live it. Do we have our own beliefs because of our belief in God? Sure. But we don't come out and start forcing that upon you. We don't come out and try and use that as a weapon against you like the trans movement does. It has become a religion in itself. And guys, I do believe that if we want to keep this equality going, this has got to be fixed. We have got to really do something about this movement before it hurts everyone else who fought for the real equality and got it. Now, I may be wrong on that. Let me know, but I don't think I am. From what I remember and how everything happened, let me know if maybe you guys see it from a different perspective.
In terms of things that people don't talk about, when you put the T into the LGBT, that's when I think things really went astray. Because think about the contradictions here. So you guys were at a university. Let's be a little logical here. The same movement that for a long time said the sex of the person you're attracted to is hardwired on the day you're born now says that your own sex is completely fluid over the course of your life. Like, it doesn't make sense. You can't believe these things at the same time. And so I think there is a deep tension between the L and the G 100%. In LGBT versus the T. And I think the fact that you mishmash all of those into one movement really was just about hostility to a conservative or even a pro-American world order. That's what it was. It was an anti-American strain, but you take the T out of it. And my view is, you know what? I think that I don't think, and maybe you'll disagree with this, I don't think that somebody should be forced to officiate a gay wedding if it violates their conscience or their religion, which is actually what they're forcing people to do right now, or make a website for those weddings. I believe in true freedom in this country. So you're free to love who you want, marry who you want, if you want, without the government standing in your way. But let's not actually bring our children into this with indoctrination at a young age, especially on gender identity. And if we do that, I think that's how big part of how we're going to make America first stand for all Americans and build our coalition to something that actually loves this country more broadly.
Perfect answer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I really
I'm
like
a gay
Vivek. What do you guys
conservative,
think?
And
I really do. I like him. I like JD. I like that Trump has brought on RFK, Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, it's remarkable what's going on in the Republican Party right now. The real unity is right there. I mean, we've got a Kennedy Democrat that has come over to the side of sanity because he knows that he can actually do the things that he needs to get done. And I do hope this man gets in with Trump, because I really hope he gets in there and fixes the FDA or CDC, wherever they're going to put this man over the health of our food and the things that have been going on with the poisons that they put into our food and our water, the plastics and all of that stuff. You know, if we go after the problem, the real problem that's causing ADHD and all of these sicknesses and cancer and everything else, then we don't need the healthcare system to I think that our priorities are messed up. Just like with the other issue that I'm not going to say it right now because I'm on YouTube. It'll get me kicked off. But I do think that our priorities are really, really messed up. We are not actually going in and solving the problems. It's like we are putting a bandage on it and just move on until it leaks a little more, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. We don't ever actually go after the problem. And I do truly believe that RFK is on the right track in trying to get these poisons out of our food, get this plastic gone. This plastic has endocrine blockers in it that messes with men's testosterone and messes with women's hormones. And it's in everything. We wrap it in our food, the plastic bottles. Endocrine disruptors, I think it's what it's called. Something like that. We'll have to look it up. We need to do an episode on it. But I truly do. I think it's remarkable what the Republican Party is doing right now. And we need to keep it on this direction. We have pulled over Tulsi Gabbard, who was a Democrat who ran as a Democrat not long ago. We are truly the party of unity. We are truly the party for everyone. We just need to get rid of some of these rhinos and get them out of the way so we can get this party moving in the right direction. And that's going to be up to people like you and me. All right, let's check out another video, guys. Let's see what's going on here.
Tell us why you're supporting Kamala Harris.
I just like her character more than I like Trump. I like that she's trying to work for the middle class.
What has she or Joe Biden done for the middle class in the last 4 years?
No, not too sure about that.
That's okay. Let's look at the issues we care about most. I imagine you want to be able to own a home.
Yeah,
at some time.
That's like my main goal. I want to own
awesome.
a home.
Everybody in this audience should be able to own a home as easily as your parents. It required $75,000 a year to buy a home in Phoenix when Trump was president. Now it's $135,000 a year to buy a home. Secondly, we care about ending the wars. Donald Trump is the only president of an unbroken chain of 32 years to start no new wars and actually bring peace to the Middle East. And finally, the border. I believe that everyone in this audience should be given preference above somebody who illegally comes into our country that was not welcome or invited. When Trump was president, we had the most secure border in history. Those three issues, home ownership, the border, and war, can you show me that anything Kamala has done that shows she's better at Trump than what Trump did on those three things?
No.
That's okay. I appreciate that. Yeah. Kamala Harris, she does not care for you. She cares about her own political career. Trump is different. He cares deeply about the well-being of your life and your livelihood to put our country first. Tell us why you're supporting Kamala.
That's Charlie Kirk Show on TikTok. Make sure you go give him a follow. I really like the work Charlie's doing. He has really reached out to all the colleges. He has made a huge impact for the Republican Party. Anybody want to come on and talk with me? Reach out to. All I got to do is send you guys a link. You don't have to come over or anything. You can hop on your own. Just need headphones with a mic so it'll sound better. So when I ask if anybody wants to come on and talk, you do not have to be here. I hope that I'm praying that as we continue to grow in our show, that I build a panel style show. That's what I want this to go into. I'm actually hoping that my wife will end up doing a full time with me co-host, and we bring guests on and talk with different people. I want to have different opinions on, especially with people that disagree with me. I'm really hoping to create a show where we can do that. That's the goal. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go see something else. Let's go see here. No, that one's not going to play very well because we're not going to be able to hear it. Let's see here. Let's see what she has to say.
Y'all, that interview with Joe.
This is Michelle Monique 1 on TikTok. Michelle Monique.
Rogan and JD Vance on the Joe Rogan podcast will go down as one of the greatest interviews in history. Mark my words, okay? Y'all, that was the interview I did not even know I needed, all right? 2 to 3 minutes into the interview, I realized how down to earth and how relatable JD Vance really is. And he totally changed my perception of him, okay? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. When Trump originally said that was his VP pick, I was furious. I was like, why not Tulsi? She gonna help you get to the finish line. She gonna help you win this election, right? No. After watching that interview, y'all, I totally get it now. And I feel as though Trump possibly picked him because this man could step up for him any given time if need be, okay? This guy.
And the Democrats it gives Trump some security on impeachment, right? Because the Democrats don't want JD in no more than they want Trump in.
Is the future of politics. This guy could possibly be our future president, y'all. He is so genuine, so authentic, y'all, so down to earth, and he just so relatable, like he's actually one of us, if that makes sense. Y'all go check this interview out, okay? The interview was a little over 3 hours, and that probably seemed like a long time, but the interview is so good, you're going to be glued to it. You will not be able to take your eyes off the screen. Trust me, okay? Y'all, after that interview, I guarantee you he literally just won an election for Donald Trump. I don't care what nobody say, y'all. Go tune in.
It was a very good interview, and I love that Rogan has got Trump and JD on. And I wish Kamala would go because this is the future for our politicians. If you want office, you need to come sit down with one of these podcasters that have a long style episode where we just talk back and forth like normal people. We get to know you more in those style interviews than the media propaganda crap that we've had to put up with all of our life. You get to really see who these people are in those type of interviews. And I think that is the future for politics going forward. And let me know what you guys think. All right, let's see here, guys. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what can y'all believe what Mark Cuban said? I mean, it's just another Democrat showing you what the Democrats really think. They claim they're fighting for women's rights and racism and all that stuff. But as usual, they can't help it. Their racism and sexism comes pouring out of them because that's who they are. It's not us. It's clear who the bigots really are in this country. And let me show you.
Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't.
It's just that simple. You don't ever see Donald Trump around strong, intelligent women because he's intimidated by them, right? How does that make you feel, women voter? If you're voting for Trump, how does that make you feel coming from the party who claims to be for you? Who created the feminist movement, which is now destroying women's sports and everything that has to do with women. You see, it just comes right out of them because that's who they are. It's remarkable that these people claim to be fighting for you or anyone else.
Like to be challenged by them.
Mark Cuban. Okay, I had to take a breath before this because this is so profoundly offensive. I worked for Donald Trump. I consider myself a strong woman. I consider those around me strong women. Kellyanne Conway, Brooke Rollins, Ivanka Trump, Hope Hicks, Sarah Sanders. That's before we get to the women that Donald Trump elevated to very high
Lena
levels, like
Haba.
Nikki Haley,
Haba,
who still
that's right.
supports him, like Amy Coney Barrett, who he put on the Supreme Court, or the women currently around him. Susie Wiles comes to mind, Caroline Leavitt. That is so offensive. And you know why? Because it's not just about the women who worked for him. He said the women around Donald Trump. This comes right after the Joe Biden garbage comment. Okay, the women around Donald Trump. What about the women who vote for Donald Trump? Are they weak? Are they dumb? Did Mark Cuban just insult any woman who supports Donald Trump? Because it's a little, very small step from that. And this is an official Harris campaign surrogate, Mark Cuban. That is misogynistic in my view. Get out of here, Mark Cuban. Kamala Harris, he's your surrogate.
That was the definition of misogyny, isn't it? It is so wild when you watch the Democrats. It really is, because they just can't help it. They have so much hate in their heart. It just comes pouring out. This is Sassy Southern Patriot on TikTok. You should go follow her.
I want to hear from you. Do you agree the women are weak and ineffective? Whatever he said, get out of here. And I can't wait to hear from you.
Mark Cuban, darling, I support Trump, and I'm a very strong woman.
Trump, you never see him around strong.
All right, guys. All right. If you haven't yet, would you kindly smash that like button? Follow us here on on Rumble and YouTube. Make sure to go follow us on X. I'm going to play one more video with some little humor. I'm going to play 2 more videos with a little bit of humor to end this one out. Let's see here. Let's go with this one first. Tell you what, that's fun. Where did she send it? I tell you what, let's just search it out. Where's my video? How's my inbox? There it is. Why is it not pulling it up? No, I'm looking for that. I swear. I'll tell you what. Let's just go. Sorry, guys. I didn't have it pulled up. Let's just do this real quick. I wanted to end this with a little bit of humor. This is my gorgeous wife, guys. Make sure you go follow her on TikTok, Vandy Street.
So my privacy was completely invaded the other day. I just found out that my husband and I were being recorded when we left the voting poll after we voted. It was raining that day, and we were like literally right down the road from where you vote. So we were walking. We ended up walking there, and it started raining on the way back. So of course we were getting all wet trying to walk home. And so anyway, someone videoed it and freaking posted it. I'll go ahead and post the video, but I'm going to find out who you were, because that was absolutely disgusting of you. Anyway, here's the video they posted. Like, how dare you? You're just mad because we voted for Trump. Y'all are all just a bunch of dummies. So my privacy was completely invaded the other day.
That's hilarious. That is my gorgeous wife. Go follow her on TikTok and X, Vandy Street, CB Vandy Street on X. One more with humor, guys. Don't forget to like this video, comment below. All of our videos stay up, so if you're not watching live, comment, and I will talk back and forth with you guys. All right, where is it? I got one more I got to show you guys. One more. Let's end this with some humor. Where'd it go? Here we go. The white dudes for
Dougie's
Harris.
white, he's white. I'm a white dude for Harris. My wife and her boyfriend, they're voting for Trump, but I love Kamala. She's my favorite.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And oh my God, wow, I'm gonna cry. Can I ask you what's your favorite thing about me?
I don't want to be too offensive. You gotta worry about sexism, but you're very pretty, I must say.
Yeah, thank you. I know, mixed women, we are the prettiest, right?
So what do you think about white dudes for Harris? Would you ever date a white dude for Harris?
My Dougie is very much so for Harris. Every night he loved that little Harris hair. Bad boy. I do. You know what I mean?
Whoa, hello.
So your wife and your who else?
Yeah, my wife and her boyfriend.
My
they
wife
voted
and her
for
boyfriend.
Trump. And I am a white dude for Harris, and I produce their OnlyFans content. Yeah, so we got a pretty good setup, the three of us.
They're
Polyamorous. You're like part of the LGBTQ.
Well, I don't get to participate. I only watch, but they let me film it.
You got a cuck, and I love all sorts of gay people, and that's my.
Well, I'm very accepted in the white dude for Harris, us cucks. That's our thing.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. And can I ask you, what are your thoughts on the Hawk Tua girl?
Ooh, Hawk Tua. Us liberals, secretly, we love a little Hawk Tua,
I know exactly. He's on the spectrum a little bit, and I love
He's
it.
on the
'Cause as a liberal, I support all people, no matter.
That's very nice. Diversity, equity, inclusion. That's the big thing.
I asked you, what's Obama's last name?
Barack Obama.
Okay, you're actually the first one to get it right. Actually, the IQ here is
I
so.
am a liberal. We are smarter than conservatives, they say.
Yeah, your accent keeps getting thicker and thicker.
Is it? Oh.
It sounds like Caillou,
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is just my normal voice,
Let me show you. You have a lisp all of a sudden. This is crazy.
I've always had a list.
Good times, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for following us here. It means the world to us, guys. And again, if you want to come on at any time, let me know. Especially this Tuesday evening, I hope to bring some guests on. My wife will come on for a little bit, and we'll just be having a good time while the results come in. And if you want to come on and talk with us about any topics, I'll even let you choose the topics. We are always looking for people to come hang out with us. Make sure to look in the description and follow our Unseen Realm channel for Bible topics, the history of the Bible, supernatural aspects, conspiracies, and more. God bless. You guys have an amazing day.